everyone, my name is DHEA DWI RESTI. I'm from PBI in third semester. I will do storytelling for my academic speaking exam. Was Ansh a man and a woman who had long been waited for a child? These people had a little window at the back of their house from which a splendid garden could be seen, which was full of the most beautiful flowers and herbs. It was, however, surrounded by a high wall, and no one dared to go into it because it belonged to an enchantress who had great power and was dreaded by all the world. One day, the woman was standing by these windows, looking down into the garden, when she saw a bed which was planted with the most beautiful salad rampions, also known as Rapunzel, and it looked so fresh and great that she longed for it. She quietly pined away and began to look pale and miserable. Then her husband was alarmed and asked, "What else you dear wife?" "Ah, if I can eat some of the rampions, it is the garden behind our house, I shall die." The man who loved her thought, "So no, then let your wife die. Bring here some of the rampion yourself. Let it cost what it will." At twilight, he climbed down over the wall into the garden of the enchantress, hastily clutched a handful of rampion, and took it to his wife. She at once made herself a salad of it and ate it greedily. It tasted so good to her, so very good, that next day she longed for it there 3 times as much as before. If he was to have any rest, her husband must more than set into the garden. In the gloom of evening, therefore, he let himself down again. But when he had clambered down the wall, he was terribly afraid, for he saw the enchantress standing before him. "How can you dare?" she said with angry look. "Diski into my garden and steal my rampion like a thief. You shall suffer for it." "Oh," answered he, "let mercy take the place of justice. I only made up my mind to do it out of necessity. My wife saw your rampion from the window, and felt so a longing for it that she would have died if she had not got some to eat." Then the enchantress allowed her anger to be softened, and said to him, "If the cause be as you, I will allow you to take away with you as much rampion as you will. Only I make on condition you must give me the child which your wife will bring into the world. It shall be well treated, and I will care for it like a mother." The man his terror constant to everything, and when the woman was brought to bed, the enchantress appeared at once, gave the child the name of Rapunzel, and took it away with her. Rapunzel grew into the most beautiful child under the sun. When she was 12 years old, the enchantress put her into a tower, which lay in a forest and had neither stair nor door, but quiet as the top was a little window. When the enchantress wanted to go in, she placed herself beneath it and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me." Rapunzel had magnified long hair, fine as spun gold, and when she heard the voice of the enchantress, she unfastened her branded dress, what them wrought on of the hook of the window above, and then there fell 20 out downs, and 20 enchantress come up by it. After a year or two, it came to pass that the king's son rode through the forest and passed by the tower. Then he heard a song which was so charming that he stood still and listened. This was Rapunzel, who is here solely passed her time in letting her sweet voice resort. The king soon wanted to climb up to her and look for the door of the tower, but none was to be found. He rode home, but the singing had so deeply touched his heart that every day he went out into the forest and listened to it. Once when he was just standing behind a tree, he shouted at a country's counter, and heard how she cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me." The Rapunzel let down the branch of her hair, and the enchantress climbed up to her. "If that is the little boy with own moans, I too will try my fortune," said he. And the next day, when it began to grow dark, he went to the tower and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me." Immediately the chair fell down, and the king soon climbed up. At first, Rapunzel was terribly frightened when a man, such as her eyes had never yet beheld, came to her. But the king soon began to talk to her quite like a friend, and told her that his heart had been so tried that it had let him have no rest, and he had been forced to see her. Then Rapunzel lost her fur, and when he asked her if she would take him for his husband, and she saw that he was young and handsome, she thought, "He will love me more than all them golden dolls," and she will say yes, and I let her and in ease. She said, "I will willingly go away with you, but I don't know how to get down. Bring with you a skin of seed every time that you come, and I will leave a letter with it, and when that is ready I will discard, and you will take me on your horse." They agreed that until the time he should come to every evening. For the old woman came by day, the enchantress remained nothing of until Aunt Rapunzel said to her, "Tell me, them cattle, how it happens that you are so much heavier for me to drown up than the young king's sons. He is with me in a moment." "Ah, wicked child," cried the enchantress, "what do I hear you say? I think I had separated you from all the world, and yet you have deceived me." And here angry the clothed Rapunzel, beautiful threads wrapped the twice round her lap, and set a pair of sandcrows with rag, and snip, snap, they were cut off, and the lovely bread lay on the ground. And she was so pitiless that she took poor Rapunzel into a desert where she set to live in great grief and misery. One the same day, the sickness of Rapunzel, however, the enchantress fasted the braids of her which she had cut off to take hold of the window, and when the king's son came and cried, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair to me," she let their hair down. The king's son askance, but instead of finding his dearest Rapunzel, he found the enchantress, who gazed at him with wicked and venomous looks. Aha! She cried smartly. You will reach your tears. But the beautiful bird sits no longer singing in the nest. The cats have got it, and will sugar out your eyes as well. Rabbit is loyal to you. You will never see her again. The king saw was beside himself with pain, and the hair disappeared he left down from the tower. He escaped with his life, but the thorns into which hair pressed his eyes. Then he wandered quite blind about the forest, at nothing but roses and berries, and did naught but lament and weep over the loss of his dearest wife. Thus he roamed about his misery for some years, and at length come to the desert where Rapunzel with the twins to which she had given birth. A boy and a girl live in were Candace. He hears a voice, and it seemed so familiar to him that he went toward it. And when he approached, Rapunzel knew him and fell on his neck and wept. Two of her tears wetted his eyes, and they grew clear again, and he could see with them as before. He led her to his kingdom, where he was joyful, rejoiced, and delighted for a long time afterwards, happy and content. Okay, thank you for watching the video, and see you in next my video. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.